Hello, and welcome back to our channel. We are in New York City, a melting pot of cultures, and as Alicia Keys says, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. We're going to take you around the city and show you things you can and should do as a first timer. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's go. First stop, Grand Central. The roots of Grand Central go back to 1867 when railroad magnate Cornelius Vanderbilt bought the Hudson River Railway and New York Central Railroads and wanted to unite them with the Harlem Line via Central Railway Station in Midtown Manhattan, and the first incarnation was born. From the whispers of lovers reuniting to the laughter of friends adventuring, every echo in Grand Central tells a tale. There is also an Apple store inside, which is a very fancy idea, but the famous elliptical barrel vault in the main concourse, featuring a turquoise background with a celestial mural of the zodiac and more than 2,500 gold leaf stars, is the beautiful roof. Next stop, Intrepid Museum. This is a military and maritime history museum located at Pier 86 at 46th Street along the Hudson River in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. Tickets cost $38 per adult. The museum's one-of-a-kind experience features dozens of military aircraft including fighter jets, a supersonic spy plane, and the Concorde, the world's fastest commercial airliner, displayed in and around the legendary aircraft carrier Intrepid. Plan to spend 2 to 3 hours here. Commissioned in 1943, aircraft carrier Intrepid survived 5 kamikaze attacks and a torpedo strike during World War II. The aircraft carrier later served in the Cold War, Vietnam War, and as a NASA recovery vessel. All of the aircrafts on Intrepid's flight deck are retired crafts that are no longer capable of flying, either due to mechanical problems or because they had flown more than their maximum flight hours. Take a stroll on Fifth Avenue, the most famous and the main artery of New York City, also known as the Millionaire's Row. Fifth Avenue is known for luxury shopping, iconic landmarks like Rockefeller Center and the Empire State Building, and its role as a dividing line for East and West addresses. It runs through the heart of Manhattan, bordering Central Park along the Upper East Side, and features high-end stores, cultural institutions, and residential buildings. Home to the Louis Vuitton store and the 16-story, 240-foot tall facade designed to resemble a Louis Vuitton trunk, the iconic LB building, which is a flagship store. Also the Tiffany & Co. flagship store. Plus there also exists a Trump Tower here. I wanted to add here that contrary to popular belief, New York subway is one of the safest subways that I've traveled on. Next stop, the Vessel, a visitor attraction built as part of Hudson Yards. Designed by British designer Thomas Heatherwick, the elaborate honeycomb-like structure rises 150 feet and consists of 154 flights of stairs, 2,500 steps, and 80 landings for visitors to climb. Next up is the Oculus, or the World Trade Center station on the path. The structure's wide metal-clad steel ribs reach up and out in a monumental move symbolic of a hand releasing a dove. It represents peace and rebirth rising from tragedy. Along with providing access to the PATH train to New Jersey and multiple NYC subway lines, the structure houses a large shopping center with numerous retail stores and restaurants known as the Westfield World Trade Center. Take a step out of the Oculus and onto the 9/11 Memorial and reflect on one of the greatest tragedies that has ever struck the United States of America. Located on 8 acres of the 16-acre World Trade Center complex, the 9/11 Memorial is a place of remembrance and contemplation within the bustle of Lower Manhattan. The two memorials have names of all the people who perished during the attacks and are located just a few steps away from each other at the location of where the original towers once were. The design of the memorial is called the Reflecting Absence, symbolizing the immense loss of life and the physical void left behind the collapsed Twin Towers. There is a nearby statue known as the Horse Soldier Statue, officially the America's Response Monument, in Liberty Park, which commemorates the U.S. Special Forces who first responded to the attacks in Afghanistan. The sphere that you see in the distance was originally between the two twin towers, and it survived the 9/11 attacks. It became an icon of hope, survival, and the indestructible spirit of the city and the country. And in the distance, you can see the One World Trade Center. Next stop, Liberty Island. There are two ways to get here. Either take the Staten Island ferry, which is free, it takes you around the whole thing, you can view everything, get off on the island, or book city cruises, which we did. Tickets cost almost $30, I think, which include access to the Statue of Liberty and the pedestal. Just to note here, if you want to go up to the Crown, you need to book at least 2 months in advance because the Crown tickets are almost always sold out. Board the cruise from Battery Park, look at all these amazing views of the New York skyline, and it takes about 15 minutes for you to get from Battery Park to Staten Island. This shot is personally very important to me. I want you to take in a moment and think about the millions of immigrants who've come over to the United States over the centuries, and the first thing that they see is the Statue of Liberty, a representation of freedom, hope, and a brighter future. Once you get off the boat, make your way to the Liberty State Park and you will see breathtaking views of the New York skyline again, and walk around the whole compound, which hosts, of course, the Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty, as it's called. We got the pedestal access tickets, so in the next few shots, you're going to see inside the pedestal and a view of Lady Liberty from the pedestal itself. Enjoy. Next stop, DUMBO, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Originally, the area was a salt marsh that was filled in and developed, and by the 19th century it was known as Fulton Landing, a busy industrial hub thanks to its strategic location for transportation. Iconic here is this place where people from all over the world come for a photo in front of the Manhattan Bridge. There are a lot of restaurants and boutique shops around this place too, so you can spend a lot of time here. Next up, the Brooklyn Bridge. At the intersection of Adams and Tilbury Street, this is where you'll find the Brooklyn Bridge Promenade. My suggestion, walk from Brooklyn to Manhattan so you can see the skyline. The Brooklyn Bridge was made in 1883, a tale as old as time. It connects Brooklyn and Manhattan across the East River and takes 40 minutes from one side to the other.
Hey, what do you say? times roll. Down, we'll never come down. When the sun comes up, we'll be feeling how we do right now. My heart's on fire, coming down to the wire. While the world sleeps, well.
We then headed to Wall Street in the financial district to see the charging bull. You either want to see the bull from the front or from the back, so either by the horns or by the balls. It's said that if you touch the bull's balls, it brings you financial success. I guess that's the reason why there was a longer line for the balls. Of course, the New York Stock Exchange, the largest stock exchange in the world by market capitalization, exceeding $25 trillion. All of our money is here. To inspire more women to join company boards and as a symbol of gender diversity, the statue of the fearless girl stands right across the New York Stock Exchange. This was first across the charging bull, but due to controversy, got moved here. Our next stop, Rockefeller Center. Developed by John D. Rockefeller Jr. in the 1930s during the Great Depression on land leased from Columbia University. Construction began in 1931, creating a complex of 14 Art Deco buildings that provided thousands of jobs. The center was completed in 1940 and has since become a New York City landmark, famous for its architecture, public art, and holiday traditions like the Christmas tree and ice skating rink. We're going to the observation deck today. Tickets generally cost anywhere between $40 and $61 depending on the time of the day, but the One Rockefeller Plaza is open to public to visit at any time. This is a small art of the Rockefeller Center itself that you can see while you're making your way up to the observation deck. It's quite in detail. The observation deck is based on 3 levels. On the first level, it's a glass covered wall which allows you a 360-degree view of the entire New York City skyline. What you see here is a view of Uptown and Central Park. In the distance, the black building that you see is the JP Morgan headquarters and the tip of the Chrysler building as well. On the second floor, you can experience the beam, basically where you recreate the 1930s iconic photo. The third floor gives you unobstructed views of Lower Manhattan. In the distance, you can see the Empire State Building, the JP Morgan building that I showed you earlier from another angle, views of the East and Hudson River, and the Avengers office that you see in the distance over there. Next up, Central Park, one of the most iconic public green spaces in New York City and in the world. This is also an inspiration for the Fatma Jinnah Park in Islamabad, Pakistan. The park opened to the public in the 1860s, and despite a period of decline in the mid 1900s, it was revitalized by extensive landscaping to transform a rocky area into a seemingly natural landscape with meadows, lakes, and winding paths. The Balto statue, sculpted by Frederick Roth, dedicated in December of 1925, commemorates the dog sled team that delivered medicine to the town of Nome, Alaska, from a diphtheria outbreak, with Balto leading the final leg of the journey. Balto himself was present at the dedication ceremony. Bethesda Terrace needs no introduction. Countless movies and shows have been filmed here. The fountain in the distance depicts the angel Bethesda, or the angel of waters, and the design references a passage in the Gospel of John that describes an angel blessing the pool of Bethesda and giving it healing powers. The place is well known for relaxing, people watching, and admiring the architecture and the scenery. On the northeast side, Central Park touches the Upper East Side. This is where you can exit and go to the stairs of the Met, which are so iconic for being featured in Gossip Girl. And generally, if you want to go into the Met, you can do that too. Next up, the Washington Square Arch. Built to commemorate the centennial of George Washington's inauguration as the first US president. An initial temporary arch was erected in 1889 for the centennial festivities, which was so popular that architect Stanford White was commissioned to design a permanent one in marble. Construction on the permanent arc located on the New York City's Washington Square Park finished in 1892 and was officially dedicated in 1895. It is said that if you hold your camera at the perfect angle, you can see the Empire State Building in the middle of the arch. I don't need to tell you what this is. Take in the sounds and lights of Times Square while you're here. And I know that New York is a big city and we may not have covered everything. Oh, but sorry, that over there is where the ball drop is going to happen for 2025. Exactly here. But I will make another video where I will cover all the foods that we tried here, and if there is anything that you think you want to let us know, please do so in the comments. Until next time, take care and goodbye.